Jane Cowie. I am from Australia and I blow glass and anything else related to glass. When I first came here and I had to get a sense of the space and think about what the space needed. This was an empty shell. There was scaffolding, concrete, piles of the blocks. Actually, that was all concrete too. It wasn't even tiled. Part of my response to the space too was that it was a very hard and angular space and it needed something soft and gentle. So I decided to do a blown installation that was like growing, like blossoming. And the artwork is very quiet and calm with a little bit of movement inside the space. Once I'd discussed the original ideas with the client, then I had to go back to the team that I work with, which is Dominic Condé and Guppy Nass, and get them to respond to my ideas then. So Dominic did a whole bunch of drawings. He drew the flowers over and over and over again. Guppy with the plans for the stems. He did all the planning and the mapping of the stems. In response to me, I would say do it like this, so he did like that and go, oh, a little bit more this way, a little bit more that way. So it was like a dialogue between the three of us as artists. So once you've done the R&D, you've decided what the client wants, what you want to do, then you have to think about where you're going to make it. I sort of knew right from the start to do blown work, you had to go back to Australia because I knew the people there, I knew that they had the skills. So I then made the decision to go to Australia to do the work and started to organise all of that. Once I made the decision to go to Canberra, when I got there, I was pleasantly surprised. They had really good equipment. Occupational health and safety was fantastic, like a 6-star glass blowing facility. It was really good. We got together a team of 15 people and they took on the job. And because they'd been trained the same way I had been trained, they had the same approach to the material. And over a course of 3 weeks, we made all of the glass. Making process is really fast and furious, and you need to communicate or to know what's going on. One team led by Nettie, she would do all the gatherings, and then John, who led the opening team, and then I would shape it right at the end there. So even though this is my artwork, there's been a lot of people involved in the making. And they're all independent artists in their own right. They all came together to help me make this installation. Do this like in isolation in some studio in Australia. In Canberra it's open to the public, so a lot of people came to. We had a lot of spectators, cheers every time a piece went into the annealer, but we also had the press came in, we had a couple of articles, we had the High Commissioner of Singapore came in to see what we were doing. So the making process is really a spectacle, and for me making this video is about capturing that energy, that process, that time, and showing people that it's not just the finished work here, but showing the process that came to making the piece, and all the people that are involved in making the piece. The shipping was of course the next part after we've made all these pieces. We got a container and we filled it with boxes and bubble wrap and foam and glass. Pretty much made all the glass with spares, which is good. So we should have everything here today, so we're ready to make the containers, and that's all on time, on schedule. And then I'm flying out tomorrow. 11:30, I've got to be at the airport.
And cut.
Arrives in the car park, metalwork's done, arrives on site. The packing was really good and it all came together and no breakages. Now we have to install it. Mocking Marine is the company that I was doing the metalwork with. I've worked with them for about 3 or 4 years now, and they've done a lot of metalwork for me before, and they can just make stuff. It's just amazing. Two months before the glass even was made, we were thinking about the metalwork. That was here in Singapore. So George at Mocking Marine developed the form and the shape. Shaheen was the head guy for the installation team. I brought 2 people from Australia that were specialist art handlers, John and Sui. But Shaheen was up the ladder, Sui was supervising, assisting, and then there was 2 others, Jackal and Roman, who came from Mocking Marine. They also assisted with the installation. And I'm pretty particular about having a team that really care about what they do. And I had a good team. I was very pleased. Then we started installing the glass. It took us 1 day just to get 6 of these tall ones up, and then another day to get most of the bottom ones up. About halfway through, the client came and had a look, which is good, to see what she liked or didn't like, and some changes were made. And for me, I wanted to cut down some of the taller ones. I thought it was just too fragile, too precarious, just too long and spindly. So I had to get the guys to take everything down. They took all the glass down, and then they had to bring it all back again and install again. Spending a bit of time with the work has been nice. To see how they move in the wind, which is a little unexpected, but it's very beautiful. I didn't want the colours to be too overpowering. I wanted them to be quite gentle. It's a very soft artwork. Glass has got a certain feel and energy about it. The metal has a very different feel. So it's nice to put those two materials together, one that's really fragile and then one that's very strong, to actually make the artwork. And I like that combination. But there's some strength in the work as well. It's fragile, but there's that security within it. The colours, I think, really suit the space. So I'm really happy to see the work up and to think that it really doesn't fight with the space. I think it just sits nicely in the space.